Hiya folks, welcome back to the Survival Sam channel. I'm part of the Stealth Camping Alliance here on YouTube, and each month we have a theme challenge video to make. And in the month of May the theme was new. So today we're trying something new and a little different for the channel. We're going to see if we can make an improved fire starter. So first off, let's light a standard shop board fire lighter and use that as a benchmark. As you would expect, it takes the match pretty easy and very quickly we have a nice big flame. So let's put it up there in the corner and see how much burn time we get from it. Right, so on to the equipment we're going to be using. Heat source, pan, water, cheap mixing pot, stirring stick, malts to put the mixture with while it hardens. We are going to be using these old tea light cups. They make the perfect size for what we have in mind. Some old dishes to hold the ingredients, a pestle and a multi if you have one. I don't have one, so we're going to be using 2 spoons to crush the ingredients into a paste. And lastly, some pliers. So onto the ingredients. First off, wax. I'll get these from those scented candles. The wife loves to burn them. I do love the smell of them. And also from the base of tea candles. Just scoop it out, pop it in the mix. Next up, sawdust. The chunkier the better. As we're not using the sawdust as fuel, but rather as hundreds of little wicks to give us a big flame. So the chunkier it is, the better it's going to be. Matches. These are for the second type of fire we're going to be trying. And sparklers are the secret ingredient for the third and fourth one. So that's everything we're going to be using, so let's get cracking with the knacking. First off, get the water warming up, put that to one side. Side note, never put the pan with the wax in it directly on the heat, as you run a very high risk of it catching fire. So we make use of a double boiler. The double boiler is basically a pan of boiling water with a small pan inside of it with the wax or chocolate or other ingredients. In theory, the temperature should not go above 100 degrees C, which is plenty hot enough to melt the ingredients, but does not go over the flash points of the wax in this case, which is around about 220 degrees, I believe. But you just got to be extra careful not to scald yourself. Breaking the wax down into smaller chunks speeds up the process of melting the wax. Right, while it's melting, let's put the time to good use and start processing the toppings. I wonder if ladies have so much fun when they're making cupcakes. Using the pliers, I'm breaking the aluminium and magnesium and the other wonderful stuff that makes the sparkler nice and sparkly. I'm using 2 sparklers worth to make the topping for the second topper, and a further 2 for another fireplug that I'm going to be using as a filler. Using the 2 spoons, I'm turning the lumps into a powder that I hope to add to the top of the fireplug. It's not as good as if we was doing it with a pestle and mortar, but I don't have them, and this is close enough to be honest with you. With all the sparkler bits all ground down and ready to use, I set about repeating the process with the safety matches. Important note here, the use of safety matches. Not sure if you can still get the old style of strike anywhere matches, but I would not recommend grinding them down. So with the matches, we're just clipping the ends off. Once ground down, the wood and shaft that's still attached will just be a bit the same as the sawdust, so there's no point in separating at this stage. Once the wax is all melted, remove it from the double boiler, then add the sawdust until all the wax is absorbed. Then pour the mixture into the mould and allow it to start cooling. With the first fire puck, we're adding some cardboard to act as a lighting point, like a wick, to get the fire good and started. 5.5 minutes in, and the shop bought firelighter is still going strong. So once inserted, we can firelighter down to one side and let it fully cool down. Next, adding a little water to the crushed down matches, we can make a paste, and we add that to the top of the second fire puck. Then we just put it to one side for 24 hours so to fully dry out. Repeat with the crushed down sparkler bits to make a super burning topper for the third puck. Then I had a big brain moment of cutting down matches to the fire puck for the lighter. It saves all the crushing and the palaver and all the rest of it. I think that's going to work great. For the fourth fire puck, I melted some more wax, and this time I add in the crushed sparkler bits, and then I add the sawdust. Then leave it to harden. All of the items were then left for 24 hours to fully dry out. At the 7:15 mark, the shop wall firelighter has gone out. That's some really good going. It lasted much longer than I thought it would. And our homemade one's going to have to go some to beat that. So, onto the fun stuff, setting fire to things. I have set up a safe area for the burn by placing an upturned plate on top of the water pan to give it plenty of insulation from my wooden table. And I've got a fire extinguisher close to hand. First we'll be using the base fire puck that is just made up of wax and sawdust plus the cardboard wicks. And as you can see, it's taking the flame very easy. Not as quick as a shop bought firelighter, but quick enough to give a great flame off. The time set by the shop bought firelighter was 7 minutes 15 seconds, and we've got way past that. So to save watching 7 minutes of flame, let's jump forward to the 7-minute mark and look how well we're doing. And as you can see, it's still burning super strong with a nice big flame. So even if your wood's damp, you should be able to get a decent fire going with this method. And in fact the flame stayed strong right up to the 40-minute mark. But even if we sped the video up, it's going to be a long boring watch. So let's get the other 3 test pieces lit up and see if we can do better. At the 15-minute mark, even I get bored of watching the one piece burn. So I decided to do a side-by-side test with all 4 burning. Next up is the wax and sawdust with a crushed match topper, and with a little bit of luck we should be able to light this just by rubbing the striker part of the matchbox over the top of it. Yeah, it's not looking so good. Maybe the mould's getting in the way. Let's peel that back a bit. Yeah, it's not going to light. So I resort to using the match to get it going, and to be honest, even that was a struggle. Maybe drying it out for 24 hours wasn't long enough, or maybe once the matches get damp they'll never work right again, I don't know. But eventually get a flame. I don't think we'll be using this. I don't think this is going to be a viable option for use on the camp. But with a little luck, the book with the sparkle topping is going to be great. Using the chopped down match as the wick is a great idea, and holy cow, look at it go. We could be onto a winner here. Oh, that was over rather quick. That was quicker than I swim in a microwave. After just a few seconds it's died right down to just 2 areas where the matches were burning. The sparkler dust seems to have formed a crust over the top, preventing the wax getting to the flame. I really hope this would be a really good flame, but sadly another fail that would not be of any use on the camp. Still, better to find this out now. So, on to the last experiment, and if you remember back, this is a standard wax and sawdust with no topper, but it does have all the sparkler dust mixed in with the wax, so hopefully it's going to give a longer burn with lots of extra sparkles. It's taking some getting going, but I think that's down to the fact I did not put any wicks in it to light. If I'd put the cardboard in, like I had in the first one, it would have lit a lot easier. But eventually we get an okay flame. But to be honest, it's nothing special, no sparkings, and does not seem to be hotter than any of the other flames. In conclusion, I don't think any of the changes we made, apart from the cut-off matches, made any difference. If anything, some of them even hindered us getting a decent fire going. And while we did get a longer burn time using just the wax and the sawdust mix, it's a lot of faffing round when the shop bought firelights are so cheap and plentiful. So I think I will be sticking to having some of them in my bug out bag. I hope you enjoyed this little video, and I hope you'll give me a little subscribe and a thumbs up. If you've got any ideas of anything else I can add to the mixture, I'm willing to give it a go. Anyway, I'll see you next time when I hope to be back at camp. Bye.